Welcome, welcome. This is My Favorite Mortgage Podcast. I'm Jaimie Booth, a licensed loan officer, and you're tuning in to a newer podcast that lets you behind the curtains of the home buying journey. We bring on special guests in our industry to help answer questions and clear up a lot of home buying myths. So today we have a returning guest. He's coming on sooner than later because we've got a lot to clear up.
Oh, yes, we do.
So welcome, Mike Kingma, for joining us again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are actually filming in the hotel lobby of the Leo Kent in Tucson, Arizona. It's downtown, right off of Church Street, Church Avenue, I apologize. And the first 9 floors of the biggest iconic building in Tucson is this newer hotel. And I gotta say, this is pretty fancy.
It is. Truth be told, my wife and I, we stayed here for our anniversary last year, and it was so nice. The hospitality here was just so great. Everyone was super friendly that's with it. And the best part about this is that this hotel is like right in the epicenter of 3 major streets where you can find a great nightlife, great foods, and just a great atmosphere. So it's just a fun place to be at, and you got to go check them out. It is a Marriott boutique hotel, so if you are part of Marriott Bonvoy, definitely take a look at them.
I am. I'm
Perfect.
a point junkie with my credit cards. Talked about that.
There you go. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yes.
So the Leo Kent guys here in Tucson, Arizona. Speaking of food, the last time we had you on, we drummed up some controversy.
Oh boy, did we.
About a seal from the seal from.
It's the seal of gastronomy from UNESCO. Just because I know the biggest hot topic that everyone was so wrapped up about was that, does Tucson and San Antonio really have everything when it comes to food?
Let's clarify, guys.
Let's air out this little moment here.
Okay, but before we really get into that,
Okay.
I think we should read some of these comments.
Ooh. You haven't been reading any, have you?
I've read a few.
You have.
And
Okay.
they've been kind and brutal on the same line. So I've sent you a few comments.
Okay.
And you've sent me a few. So yes, we prepared.
Okay.
I want you to read a comment about our viral YouTube short about Tucson, San Antonio's UNESCO's seal.
Yes.
All right, you're up.
Alrighty. Well, let's see what you sent me here.
Roll the music.
This is going to be juicy. All right. So the first one came from Grand Reaper 12, and he says, I lived in both cities. You can't compare San Antonio to Tucson. Mind you, he said 2 as in T-O-O. San Antonio is a giant with amazing food everywhere, and Tucson, there's nothing. To be honest, it's just old people and bad roads. Clearly, this person has been sitting just behind a computer the entire time, but that's okay. I have been at both. I was actually in San Antonio for a realtor conference, and actually the food was really good. I have nothing bad to say about San Antonio by any means, and for them, it's another great spot for food. Loved it.
Yeah.
But I will agree, there are parts of Tucson where the roads are bad, but
Roads are bad.
the roads are bad everywhere, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. But I think it's fun. I think it's fun that, we can have this wonderful dialogue about just talking about food.
Yeah.
So this is good. This is
right.
good. That's a good one.
That was
I like
a good
that
one. Okay.
All right, what you got for me?
Let's see. All right. This is from Desert-Walker. I wish I saw this sooner. Of course, it's BS. Yeah, we might have every type of food, but it's all horrible. LOL. And the LOL has spaces in between them. So it's laugh, space, out, space, loud.
Must have been using Siri.
Only a few places have decent food. I just got back from Boston. Best food in the world, and they have every type of food. So stop the nonsense. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this was, thank you for your opinion and thank you for your comment. It did help us grow. But it's not nonsense. It's not BS. I think Tucson has a very big, diverse area and restaurant scene. So maybe I'll have to go back to Boston and
Might have to.
Have you ever been?
I've always wanted to. I'm actually looking at maybe a trip this next year to visit, some family that's out in New Hampshire.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. We'll more than likely fly into Boston Logan, and who knows, maybe I might have a Sam Adams with it too. There you go.
All right, one more?
Oh, okay.
You up for one more?
Yes,
Okay.
I am down for one more.
What you got?
This comes from Amara Muhammad 5235. I hope I said it right. I am so sorry if I did, if I butchered it. But it says, please, as a Tucson native, delete this video. We don't need people thinking this place is a good place to settle down. Well, let me set that. Okay. You're talking to someone that moved here 7 years ago and fell in love with the place. So of course, I'm gonna find everything that I'm going to love about this place, and I will get on top of Mount Lemon right now to go up there and shout it from the heavens. You cannot stop me.
No.
We're gonna talk about this because that's who I am.
You've experienced it.
I've experienced
You are
it.
exactly what he said.
Yes.
Just to prevent.
Prevent it? Absolutely not.
Nope, sorry. No promises.
Nope, not gonna happen.
All right, one more from me. All right. This comes from.
I think we sent the
Oh
same
my
one. Oh my
gosh.
god. Did we really?
I was going to say Grand Reaper was really active on our video. Oh, that's okay. We're good. I've got one more.
Okay. All right. You got another one? Okay. Hey, kudos
right.
to you, Grand Reaper. Seriously, you got both of our attentions on
All right.
this.
Too bad the homeless have nothing basically, and nobody seems to care though. Live it up. It's the only life you're getting. So true. We are living it up in Tucson with our UNESCO seal.
That's right. We truly are. We are embracing this.
Thank you, the roaming nomad. Appreciate it.
I bet you he lives in one of those
Van.
Airstreams. I was thinking an Airstream.
One of those converted vans.
Oh, like a Mercedes Sprinter van. That's it. It's the Sprinter.
Those are like 6 figures.
Yeah, if they're fully loaded, it's like, you know what? Good for them. And I'm sure you probably are using Starlink too. Make sure you give a big shout out to Elon Musk there. Make sure you do. But that's good. That's really good.
Oh, it's been fun. It's been fun. I think
This has been wild.
This is the first time you've gone viral on a video.
Yes, this is actually the first time I've ever gone viral over just a normal conversation like you and I are having. It's just like, wow.
You never know what's going to trigger comments and, people getting riled up.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this for years. I love the haters because you're helping me grow. Mm-hmm. You're getting me more subscribers, which means my message and my passion for helping people buy homes is getting seen by more. So, you know what? Bring on the mean comments. We're ready. No
Fire
feelings
away.
hurt here.
Fire away.
But I got one for you.
Ooh.
3 guys walk into a bar.
Okay.
You'd think at least one of them would have seen it. Hey, do you ever think soy milk is just Spanish milk introducing himself?
She's been saving these for what? How long now?
Like a month. I have been waiting for it. Why can't Tyrannosaurus Rex clap his hands?
Why?
Because he's dead.
Oh, meteor strike.
It's been too long, Joe. We took a break. We took a month off.
Oh
Lots
my
of
god, that's funny. That is too funny.
The guys walking into the bar, though, that one, I have been saving that one. At least one would have seen it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You miss me too, right? Right.
Okay, so those are some good puns. I'm not gonna lie. Good puns, good dad jokes, just all the above. I love it. Oh my god, that is funny.
So let's talk about We talked about the UNESCO seal, and that was, something we didn't anticipate. But really, you're a local realtor.
Yeah.
You are a top producing agent at your brokerage, month after month, year after year.
Yeah.
And so housing is really why we have this podcast. Let's chat a little bit about some recent news.
Yes.
It's been a little bit of time since I've, talked about it.
Yeah.
I read an article, Scotsman Guide came out about home appreciation, an increase of their value.
Yeah.
So wanted to just get your take on this because I have a girl math.
Oh, no.
I have girl math brain working on this
Okay.
when I read this article. So I have the article and I'll give it to Joe. We'll provide it in the link. And it says, according to ScotsmanGuide.com, CoreLogic, which is it's actually a big industry leader for everything from property profiles to credit reports. The CoreLogic's price index is up 5.3 yearly in April. So that means that this is the sixth straight month in a row that we've had year-over-year annual gains of at least 5%.
Saw that.
So the whole, the market's going to crash, homes are going to come down because interest rates went up is not happening month after month. Here's my girl math.
Okay.
If your home is appreciating at 5% a year, and your interest rate is 8%, aren't you really paying 3% for that home?
Ooh. Okay.
Your money is growing month after month.
Okay. So I can see where that comes in. Yeah.
No?
I could see that. I mean, that would make sense. If your interest rate is, say, it's at 8%, you got it at the peak, like what, that was
October
October of like 20, was it 23?
Just last year.
Yeah, October of 23. It was
23.
8%. It's just something bananas like that.
Yeah.
And if your appreciation is 5% of what you've paid for the home, it's not bad, to be quite honest. I mean, you're already going to get a bigger incentive anyways with the mortgage interest rate deduction.
Yes.
So
when you itemize, you can deduct.
Well, that gives you a good reason why to use that. Because, I mean, for the last, 5-6 years, when interest rates are at the 2, 3, 4%, I mean, the federal standard deduction didn't make sense with the mortgage interest rate deduction because of how low it was. So now here we are in a higher interest rate environment. And let's just say married filing jointly is $29,900. But you ended up paying $35,000 in interest on your home. That
makes sense to itemize.
That makes sense to itemize.
Then you can deduct all kinds of things like a home office, things like that.
Yes.
We're not tax advisors. Don't quote us on that.
No,
Consult
I always
your
say.
CPA.
Yes.
But that's my girl math. So 8%, if your home's appreciating at 5%, your interest rate's really 3%.
Opa!
Guys, we are still at the Leo by the restaurant and bar. So
Yes. And honestly, for what it's worth, we're here to have a good time. Great conversations, good coffee, and just good vibes all around.
Yes.
So guys, I agree with you on that.
Thank you. Because when we have talked about, remember the most common little phrase in 2022?
Oh, don't even start.
Marry the house, date the rate, right?
Yeah.
So that in essence meant what?
That just basically creates this narrative that you're going to, you just want to fall in love with the house regardless of the interest rate. And when interest rates come down, this is when you refinance. You're dating the rate. Woo-hoo.
But there's one big caveat that people fail to even think about is a mandatory. We can't refinance you unless your home is appreciated. We need you to have equity. We can't just refi you if your home has come down in value.
Yeah.
So we need this appreciation. We don't want to see, if you did marry the house and date the rate per se, I need your home to keep appreciating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when the interest rates do come down, you're going to have that equity because you've been paying it down. The home is appreciating. Now you've really dated the rate.
Yes.
We see it go the other way, guys. There's no refinance.
Nope.
Now it's marry the house, ball and chain to the rate.
I would say it's it's like when you have family that overextends their stay at your house.
Yes. Overstaying welcome.
Yeah, it's an overstaying welcome. It's like, oh my God, you're still here after 2 weeks? Go, leave.
That's how I feel with these interest rates.
I know.
This is over 2 years.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Honestly, with the way that interest rates have been, and I've been doing posts myself where I've just been kind of analyzing the overall market, not just here in the US, because I mean, we get so focused on US, political news and things like that, but that's all noise. What we need to focus on is globally. We're a global economic system where, it's not just trading within the US anymore. Okay. We're trading all across the world that's with it. And I mean, in just the last, 72 hours, the Bank of Canada just reduced its interest rate, its benchmark overnight interest rate from 5 to 4.75.
Quarter?
Yeah.
Nice.
So about 25 basis points.
But moving it down. That's what you're seeing.
That's why it's moving it down on that point. So that a lot of people thought, hey, that's going to give a good idea for us to follow suit. Now, mind you, this is the first time that a country not from the US has moved interest rates lower, that's part of the G7, than the US. Because the US has always been the leading indicator for everything. Always been that way. When it comes to cutting interest rates or raising interest rates, the US was always the first to do so.
Now they're not waiting for us anymore.
Oh, no. No, it's...
Now we're looking to them.
Uh-huh. And that's really the big thing now. So not only did we get the Bank of Canada, but now we got the European Central Bank.
They did it today?
They did it yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, they dropped their overnight benchmark rate as well.
A quarter?
A quarter.
That's a great sign, guys. Maybe we are just taking a little bit longer time. I know our Fed is a little bit more cautious, right? Mm-hmm. So if the other countries are doing it, just like he said, be hopeful.
Yes. And to be honest,
it's on the way.
It's on the way. It really is. I don't have a crystal ball in front of us. No. None of us does. No. I mean, none of us would have anticipated that COVID was going to shoot up just home values like it did. Nobody anticipated that. Quite honestly, I think with the way it is I'd say we might see some changes in the next 6 months unless we get some crazy black swan event. And if we get something like that, that's where the Fed is going to probably panic and say, time to turn on that money printer and just keep the money printing, quantitative tightening no more. It is quantitative easing. Burn, baby, burn. Keep it going.
Oh my, it's always entertaining having you on.
Turn on the burr printer.
Yeah. You've got some great insight. And I love that you actually... you're in this market and this is what you do for your career, but you're also doing the research.
Yes.
The research that clarifies misinformation that we hear. So thank you for doing that.
Of course.
A lot of people should be doing more of that to understand and almost not have that crystal ball, but be able to predict. And one of the things that we use are some very important financial reports. And there's one report that I've talked about that isn't inflation report. Everyone wants to say, oh, inflation report, the PCE and all these reports. But in mortgage, there is one report that I feel has far more weight. And I know from statistically, if this report's coming out on a Friday, I am locking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
What is it?
Every single week.
You got to tell me what it is. The suspense is killing me.
The jobs report.
It came out today.
The jobs report. Better than anticipated. Guess what's happening today? Interest rates have gone up.
Yep.
But guess what they did on Tuesday and Wednesday? They were at the lowest they had been in probably a month. I had 2 people that got in I'm like, we're locking now. We are locking now. And then today it came out and I looked at my pipeline and I was like, I need to make sure I did it. And every single one of my clients were locked in on the good interest rates because I knew that report was coming out on Friday. It's not the crystal ball because it could have gone the other way. And then it would have been better. But just from having that knowledge, staying informed, reading the articles, understanding the financial part of it, almost gives you that cloudy crystal ball.
Yes. And, you bring up a really good point, because this is why, and I know it sounds awful, but this is why we get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because we're in the same time zone as the West Coast.
Right.
We're all on that. But remember, all these news, everything that comes out is all East Coast. So they're 3 hours ahead. So when data
waking up.
Oh yeah, when data's coming out on their time is at 8:30, 8:45 in the morning, right as soon as they wake up. Yeah. We got to wake up at 5 to be in front of our computers, locked in, and say, what happened?
Yes.
And so by doing that, that gives us a good idea of what's going on. And at that point, as my trading professor always told me, it's action first, then news. So as soon as the data comes in, that's factual right then and there.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you see the folks on CNBC, MSNBC, all these, Bloomberg, they have their own TV shows where they're starting to talk about it. And then, of course, everyone's favorite friend, Jim Cramer.
He's a little crazy.
He's gotten himself into some trouble, but, it's just one of those things where it's obnoxious, but it's okay.
He makes a lot of money being that persona.
It's okay. I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do, and I respect the hustle, but facts don't lie.
Yeah.
They don't lie. So when that data comes in, that's what we're working with.
So for anyone listening, this is what we eat, breathe, and live. This is our profession, and this is why we read these articles and sign up for them. So any agents, if you're not signed up with Housing Wire, Scottman's Guide, all those kind of just good information, it's free. It's a newsletter. It comes to my email. I get every single article that's popping up. It just is great to stay informed. And that's why you should be working with a professional that can speak what is going on today. Tomorrow it changes, and yesterday is totally different. So if you have any questions about stuff that you're seeing on the news, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find us or you can email us at myfavemortgage@gmail.com. We are streaming on all major platforms, podcasts, Spotify, all of them. And you can feel free to reach out through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Mike Kingma, it's Michael though. You have it Michael.
So on my license, it's Michael, but I go by Mike.
Okay.
So you can find me on Instagram at Real Mike Kingma, or you can reach out to me at any time by email at miketherealcloser@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on my website at mikekingma.com.
mikekingma.com. Okay, guys. And you can click on the link below. We'll give you any information, answer any questions. Home buying is supposed to be a journey, and it's an adventure, and you need the right people behind you to help guide you through all the challenges and guide you through the information, because there's a lot of wrong information out there.
Oh yes, lots and lots of misinformation.
Yeah.
There really is. And so for those like you and I who are boots on the ground for the greater Tucson market, Pima County, whole 9 yards, we see what goes on in this environment, and there's no one else to turn to than for you, Jaimie, and for me to be able to take care of our clients and go above and beyond and give them the right news that makes sense.
Yes. And with that, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. We will be recording again from the Leo Kent. Really fabulous place. And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.